Peace, stars. Welcome to another episode of the DiehardKnicks Podcast. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, as you can see by this thumbnail here, man, right on the right bottom corner, we got my man Sliz. State of the York Knicks Podcast is here. We're going to be talking about everything. Obviously, the state of the New York Knicks, man. So, without further ado, let's just bring the guy up in here. What's good, man?
Yo, my guy, Eru, what's up, man? DiehardKnicks, man, what's up, bro? Always appreciate to join your show, man.
Yo, man, as everybody can hear, there's no audio issues, right?
Yeah.
The last time we did it, it was all like, the whole bunch of stuff going on, man. I blame it myself. State is being nice and blaming himself too, man. But we here now, man, where we're gonna talk about, what you want to talk about, State?
Let's talk about the game yesterday.
Okay.
Derrick Rose appearance back in the Garden. It's crazy because I was negative on his trade because remember when he went AWOL and we couldn't find him for a day.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would like the whole Melo thing too, man. Melo had a fight. We had a big fight with Melo, and people forget all about that, but they just want to talk about the good times. Same thing with Derrick Rose. We got to talk about the bad times before we get to this next chapter. So go ahead.
Derrick Rose, when he was here, he was productive when he was here too. That's what's so crazy. Like people fail to realize he did average 18 points. Like he was productive, but it was just frustrating to watch. The Phil Jackson era was just so disgusting. We're gonna talk a little bit about it later, but it was bad. But it was refreshing to see. Derrick Rose already said he wants to be a mentor to the young guys. He took Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin out to dinner his first day in New York. So I'm appreciative of that. So how you felt about his reappearance back at the Garden, man?
Well, I mean, that immediate impact, man. His presence on the court, just everything that we want Alfred to do, right off the bat, Rose was there. Everything that we want Austin to do, he just came in there, no practice, nothing, just right off the bat, bam, right in your face. That is exactly what we needed, and I feel like we almost should spank Leon Rose for waiting so long to make this trade. You should have, you should have been did that if this was the case, man. But I mean, it's good. It's good to see, man, because I mean, it's a tale of like 5 years. Because like 5 years ago, what is it? 6 years ago, it was 2016. It was like 5 years ago. 5 years ago when we got him the first time, Derrick Rose was a whole different person. He was involved in that court case, whatever. He wouldn't have got himself involved in that if he wasn't in that particular space that he was in. And then go into the AWOL stuff, a lot of psychological stuff, maybe just being away from home, all these excuses. People give excuses. I was pissed off about the excuses at the time, but you can give credit to a man for growing, like you can see the stuff going on with his hair. Whenever you twist your hair like that, whenever you hear guys start speaking in such a way, like I'm looking to teach the young guys, I'm not worried about this. He's speaking in a very almost like a I ain't gonna say the P word, the prophet, but almost kind of like a monk, So I appreciate it, man. There's a time in like a man's life where they get to an age and they start, asking questions and realizing stuff, man.
He talking like, you ever watch Doctor Strange, the movie?
Yeah.
He talking like the lady,
yeah.
when she first met up with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, was that the ancient one? You're talking like the ancient one now.
The ancient one.
32 years old, man.
Derrick Rose, man, former MVP. I remember sitting in my mother's house and watching the game that he tore his ACL, and I remember just in shock. So I'm happy to see him here. He had 14 points, 5 for 9 from the field, 3 assists in 20 minutes. How you felt about? Did you feel any type of way that Austin Rivers wasn't playing? For me, Obi finally got a point guard who passed him the goddamn ball. That's the biggest thing for me. Obi has to see the ball.
Well, I mean, somebody got to see the ball. Austin Rivers, whenever he's in the game, it's like he's floating up and down the court, like he's not really engaged in the game. As soon as Derrick Rose came in there, just even the manner of which the guy's tucking in his shorts, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the focus. He's already talking to Quickley as they're coming in. They're already trying to get a rapport together. It's just a whole different movement that we have here, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said Quickley's a dog. He said he competes. Mentally, I think Derrick Rose right now at it in his career, I think he's settled in. I think he's going to be here for the long haul. I think we should re-sign him, honestly. MVPs who's 32 years old and who's been in the league as long as he's been and had the injuries he's had, and to mentally come back to have 50 points in Minnesota, that's special. And you don't let that walk out of your locker room. So I would love to re-sign him. We got Quickley here. We got Obi here for 4 years. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. I think he's going to help with a playoff push. But, you know, I like the Derrick Rose trade so far.
Yo, so we had like a I don't want to say argument, but just, you know, like a spirited Twitter discussion, you know, talking about you know, playoffs and stuff like that, you know. So what do you think about the playoffs thing, man? Because I mean, like, this is the play we were talking about with you know, Rose making that play to Obi Toppin. He found him just in the way that Derrick Rose moves. You know, the play's gonna restart itself in a second. But I mean, like, let's watch it from the beginning. Just the way that he got to the lane. He made a little cut, boom, right to the basket, inside. You know, something that Austin Rivers is just not capable of doing, man. So I mean, like, now that we have, yeah.
Don't forget, he looked off the defender too. He looked them off. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's all improvisation. That's all like just being decisive. So I mean, you know, now that we have a guy like this, and you can see the potential of how this lineup can be. You know, now we can start talking that playoff. That now it's like the playoffs is like we can see it now. Like you can see like the light. Yeah, I see the light now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, how are you looking at it now? How are you looking at things?
You know, just like you say, you know, the spirited discussions on Twitter about, you know, making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. I think it's a fine line to that. You know, I've been a Tibbs fan for years. And I watched him go to Minnesota, and I thought he was going to win a championship over there because he had Cat, he had Wiggins, he had Levine. You know what I'm saying? He won 33 games his first season, and then he goes out after he wins 33 games. And instead of chilling, sitting back, you know, letting his rebuild take its course, he makes the Jimmy Butler trade. And he destroys the rebuild. And when I say he destroys the rebuild, he traded Larry Marketing, a guy who would have been a great front court pairing for Karl Anthony Towns, even though their defense would have been absolute garbage. And he traded Ricky Rubio. And I thought Ricky Rubio should have never been traded in the first place. And he brought in Derrick Rose. He was playing Derrick Rose too many minutes some games, you know, just wearing him down. But also Tibbs was wearing 2 caps. He was president of basketball operations, and he was the coach. So he's coaching players that he might have to trade. So it was too much for Thibodeau, but I just really did not like what he did with that whole Minnesota situation. So that's why I'm a little scared to make the playoffs. I don't want to make the playoffs, and you know, Julius Randle, he's cool. I respect him, but I'm still not fully bought in yet because I like resumes, and he does not have the resume I see yet. But it's I don't know, bro. It's tough for me, bro. I don't want Thibodeau to make a dumbass trade, bro. I don't want him to trade 4 first-round picks for a B-level star just to try to compete and beat the Indiana Pacers. And
right,
you know. I'm just scared. Honestly, that's why.
Yeah, I feel your pain, man. But you know, I think Tom Thibodeau would agree that he had too many hats in Minnesota. You know, there was too many different things going on. You know, he has the personality to handle it because, you know, he's a forceful guy. He doesn't care, like even the way that he's handling and coaching the Knicks, he doesn't care that he's breaking guys' feelings. You know what I'm saying? That by not playing him, he's going to stick to his game plan. But just to have him making phone calls, you know, with other people, whatever, that's too much of a distraction. Then also with when he brought Jimmy Butler in here, these guys Wiggins and Towns, they just weren't ready for that. You know, they weren't ready for Jimmy Butler to come in there and getting in that ass. You know, out of lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? But things happen. You know, like teams win and stuff. You know, when the perfect thing happens. Right now with the Knicks, he has full reign just to be the coach, whatever. They got the front office doing their thing. So I mean, he gets to manage what he has here. So I mean, just through communication between him and the coach and the front office, I feel like now things are starting to kind of unravel for the Knicks in a good way. Julius Randle, like, he doesn't have the resume, but like you go down the line for all these different teams that won championships. Let's say like Dwayne Wade when he first came in, he was just coming into his own. You know, he was like maybe his third year or whatever before nobody knew that he was going to be as good as he was. But all that came together. They went and got Antoine Walker and all these other different guys. Next thing you know, they were good enough and they were in the championship and they actually won. You know what I'm saying? So, why can't it be us?
I totally forgot about that. They had a really vet-heavy roster when they won that chip. It was Shaq, Lonzo, Gary Payton. Was Antoine Walker still in?
Yeah, Antoine Walker was there. A lot of guys. Lonzo had one kidney. White Chocolate was there. It was a bunch of guys that was there.
Oh, Jay Will was there.
So I mean, like just the whole thing, there's many ways to win a championship, So I think just waiting for like the perfect guy or waiting for that signature dude to come in, that doesn't always work that way. Sometimes like it's just the perfect storm of things happening that brings along that championship run. So I mean, like bringing like Derrick Rose to me, and just watching the way that we played when he got in the game, for me, that just lit up a whole bunch of alarms for me, man. It's like, oh shit, because now we got all these draft picks and we had the extra cap space. I'm like, yo, the Knicks are they're like one player for being in the playoffs and like two players for winning championship to me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to stick on this wave. I see you smiling, man. I know you always like truthfully, man, stay you all over the goddamn place, man. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate your takes or whatever, because it brings that spice to being a Knicks fan, man. But there's so many different ways to go about it. So I mean, like, what would make you like what would get your like juices flowing, like going towards like that whole championship? What do you think? What do you think should happen to get you going there?
Knicks got to shut me up. Now, how you shut me up? You get in the playoffs and you win one round. With this current roster right here, this is how you shut me up. Maybe, matter of fact, just get into the playoffs. I would say that, but I think that's a low bar. I think that's too much of a low bar for Knicks fans. I think we settle for mediocrity too much. Like, we settled for Frank scoring 6 points. We settled for Kevin Knox having 2 rebounds, and he's just 10. So I think we gotta up the stakes. Like, for me, just confidence, man. Everybody's different. I just need some competency, man. I like I said before, the Knicks went to I didn't even say this, but I'm saying it now. The hell with it. The Knicks got to the finals in 1999, right? Right after they go to the finals, a couple years later, they trade Patrick Ewing. Right after they trade Patrick Ewing, starts the downward spiral. So I need to see consistency, which I haven't for 2 decades. We've been trading draft picks. Isaiah Thomas saying that, now I got to start in 5 with 5 guys who could score 20 points. Like, 2007. Oh, man. So they got a long way to go. But getting to the playoffs is a start. Julius Randle making an all-star game and still being top 5 defense when the season is over, that's a start. Just bring in another 20-point scorer, and then you probably can see what can happen. Let me throw a hypothetical at you.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about this yesterday. If we had Jeremy Grant right now, who's averaging 24, 6, and 3, and he's playing small forward for the Detroit Pistons, with Julius Randle at the level he's playing at right now, and with RJ Barrett playing at the level he's at right now, I wouldn't be crazy saying that Knicks team is a top 4 seed in the East. I
absolutely agree, because that's exactly what we're missing. We're missing a wing of that caliber. But Detroit wasn't gonna give him up the way he's playing without trying to get one of our a lot of our stuff, man. They're definitely probably gonna ask for RJ. They're probably gonna ask for a first as well. Because you're talking about a guy on their team. It's a bad team, of course, but they're not looking at it like that. They're gonna be looking like, yo, this guy's 25 points a game. If you want him, you're gonna have to give up some stuff to get him.
Yeah, man. I wish we signed him this offseason. I didn't think he was just going to be this good.
Me either. Same thing like Julius Randle. I had no idea these guys were going to be this good. Maybe it's just a testament to how the NBA is playing right now, or the pace of the game, all these 3-pointers and stuff. Nobody's really playing defense. So because there's a lot of 20-point scores in the NBA this year.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And everybody putting up these outlandish numbers. I'm seeing Chris Middleton, 22, 54%, I think, from the field goal range, like 44% from three. I don't know, man. These guys, they going crazy right now. Right now, my current MVP right now in the NBA is Donovan Mitchell. I don't got LeBron as the MVP. I got Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's basically carrying Utah over there.
They won 16 in their last 17 games. And then I tie this into Mitchell Robinson because, people who talk about Mitchell Robinson and his offense, I'm kind of not caring anymore because I'm watching the way Utah plays. They have multiple wings who's great passers. And unlike Mitchell Robinson.
Shout out to Jordan Clarkson.
Yo. Oh,
he is balling out his mind. That's a guy I actually wanted. I wanted Jordan Clarkson because we probably would have got him for $6 million.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I think I laughed you off a pod when you said to me, Jordan Clarkson.
I think you did.
I think I laughed.
I think you did. It was definitely one of the audio joints. You definitely laughed me off when I said that. I think you was at work and you had somebody in the room laughing at me too.
I ain't mean to, man. My fault, man. Jolie, he balling too, man. I can't lie. I'm impressed, man, with the talent that's in the NBA today. That's why I want another lottery pick, man. I just want one more.
Yeah, I got you. But yo, check it before we get into the lottery pick and stuff. You said the Jazz, on Donovan Mitchell. That's legit because they got the best record in the league. Actually, yeah, they got the best record in the league right now. So if you want to talk about MVP candidates, he's definitely got to be up there because he's better than the Lakers. He got them better than the Clippers. Everything that's good. But back to the East. If let's say just right now, even if we don't make any moves or whatever, if the Knicks can maintain their position like 9, 8, and get into that play-in, there's none. All these teams should be definitely afraid of the Knicks, man. Even looking down here, let's say if we had a play-in against the Miami Heat, you saw us banging with the Heat. The Raptors, I'm not really afraid of. They're a 3-point shooting team, but it depends. Like if one of these teams can make a move to get better, that's going to be the thing. So if the Knicks are the one to get that extra player, all these teams, all the way up to number 1, are going to be afraid to play the Knicks, especially in that first round with the 76ers. They'll be shaking in their boots if the Knicks made a trade and was able to improve the roster.
I'm looking at this list you showing me. If I'm Atlanta, if I'm the Raptors, if I'm Cleveland, the Pacers, or the Hornets, I'm avoiding the Knicks at all costs. You might be going home early this season. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Word up. We got every right to talk that way too, man. The way we've been playing.
Yeah. And it's not even. This is not even the final roster. This is like This is not even 1/4 of the roster. And what I'm getting at is a lot of these dudes is going to be gone. But before we see the final product.
They're gone already. Frank and those guys, they're not playing. They're gone already.
No, I will say this about Frank and Knox. I read an article from Mark Berman, and it said that the Knicks have not offered Knox or Frank in any trades or all first-round picks. Like, all of that is off the table in any trades. So, okay, if they have a plan, I understand. If Thibodeau trying to juice out these early season wins, okay, copy. I understand. Maybe we see Knox again at some point this season, which I would love to see because I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him and Frank. Shit. If I was on the bench, I gotta watch Alfred Payton put up triple singles every night. Shit, I'd be mad my damn self.
Well, would you be mad at him if we put those guys in the package and to get a starter?
Name the starter.
That's the thing. We gotta run through the mix. I keep saying Oladipo. Oladipo just sticks out at me as a guy that's just dangling. If he was to like send Knox, you got to send a first round pick because Knox is not playing. Just whatever you could do to make that work. Because I mean, we got the money too, so we don't have to give them nobody good. We could just give them that first and some young players, and then that should be good enough. Right then, that would give us a starter, and then you just go from there. Because like if you're looking for a shooter off the bench, now you put Bullock in that spot. So Bullock will be the shooter coming off the bench. So you don't have to worry about what Knox is doing.
See, this is where I get conflicted. This is what I mean by rebuild. I don't want to see Bullock coming off the bench at 30 on my team next season because it's counterproductive to what I'm aspiring to do. I would like to see a younger player who's productive in that spot next season, personally, just for me.
Right.
Bullock is he's not trash, He's a solid vet. He needs solid vets to win basketball games. So I'd be mad at him sometimes, don't get me wrong, but you need those type of dudes. Now, Victor Oladipo, I'm intrigued too. I'm intrigued because it seems like in my career mode in 2K, he always joins the goddamn Knicks. He always joins the team, and it seemed like him and RJ is always my shooting guard and my small forward. And it always works out well because I always win a chip with them too. So, but in real life, Victor he's a capable playmaker, capable defender, chip on his shoulder, can hit a 3-point shot, can get his own shot. My only thing is the contract. I don't want to pay him, and then his injury history catches up to him while he's on the Knicks. Because it seemed like whenever we sign people, thank God for Julius Randle. Shout out to Julius Randle because this man is healthy. But other people come to the Knicks, when they get paid, bro, Joakim Noah, I'm too lit for the city.
Joakim Noah is nuts, man. He was out there with all kind of chicks with their titties out and the freaking cabs and all kind of stuff. All kind of pictures popping out when he came to New York, man. He was bugging out. But
I didn't know that.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to put any of these chicks on blast, man. But he had a couple chicks. He had posted, or somebody else posted pictures, and he had to like take them down and stuff. He's a wild boy, man. But I mean, check the starting lineup. Let's say if we was to get Julius Randle with RJ, still got Mitchell Robinson here. We're gonna have Alfred here for now. Throw Oladipo. Coming off the bench, you have Noah. You got Obi. You got what's the name? Reggie Bullock. You got Rose now, and you got Quickley. And also Alec Burke in the mix there coming off the bench. What do you think about that team?
Can I be selfish a little bit? Do I gotta give up both Knox and Frank in that trade? Can I choose one of them? Can I choose?
But I mean, it's not really up to you. It's up to Houston. What would Houston want from Oladipo?
I think for sure Houston would take Knox before they take Frank. So I'm more inclined to keep Frank because I think I like Frank with those other wings. I'll wait for him to play. I'm not in no rush to see him play right now. He's gonna play just like Reggie Bullock. When Knox is 29, when Frank is 29, he's gonna play like Reggie Bullock. He's gonna play like a role player, capable defender who can knock down a 3-point shot when he needs to do so. I would like to keep breaking that deal.
When Frank is 29, man, he might be running a boutique down in Soho somewhere, selling silk scarves and shit from France. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, but because cause check it, because we still got that. Let's say I'm already an advocate of trading our first round pick, but they might accept the 2023 or 2022 pick, so we can still keep our picks. So let's say if we were to do that and they accept that trade and we get Oladipo here, basically for nothing. Now we still got our 2 draft picks. Those 2 draft picks are going to push some of these guys out off the team, and I think Frank is one of them.
Oh wait, you see. You gotta say the whole trade, brother.
It's all hypothetical though, man. Like let's say
okay.
if we don't trade like 2021's picks, but we were able to trade. Like,
bring them on. Yeah. My love for the.
But what would you do with Frank at this point now? Because you're saying Frank at 29, he'll be playing like whatever. But I mean, like, if we still keep our two number one picks and we get lucky and we get some of these big guys like. Some of these guys that were playing today, if you get like one or two of those guys, where's Frank playing? Never.
But here's the thing. When those two draft picks come into this building, that means that the Knicks have re-signed Frank. Do I think the Knicks is going to re-sign Frank? No. So
well, there you go.
But I don't know if they would not try and re-sign Frank because he's going to sign for the low. He's gonna resign for the low, and when I say for the low, I'm talking about for the low, like 3-year, $12 million or 3-year, $15 million low. So it's a wait and see. Leon Rose was his former agent, so I know it's a plan there. It's got to be a plan there. Like we can't just sit here and assume that Frank and Knox is just gonna be traded or the first round picks is just gonna be traded. It's a plan. I think. They got solid plans, so it's just a wait and see for me. But if those two draft picks step into that door, one of them is going to be BJ Boston. So you might as well say one draft pick. BJ Boston is going to be a Knick.
Yeah, that's Kentucky, right?
Yeah, Kentucky. He's going to be a Knick. So just say one draft pick.
Whoever. But, I mean, you get BJ Boston, then that's Frank right there. Frank is gone if you get BJ Boston. Because I'd rather have BJ Boston, chilling on the bench waiting for his turn than Frank Ntilikina.
Yes, and I agree with you on the point of we don't have to pay him 4 years from now. So yeah, I strongly agree with that.
Because we're absolutely going to have to pay him, because his rookie deal is going up. So in order to keep him that long, we're going to have to give him something. Personally, like me, me, man. I don't want to get that cat nothing.
Yo, man, y'all got us. It's crazy about y'all, man. The older folk, man. Whenever I talk to y'all about Frank Ntilikina, you, my coworkers, I got a diehard Knicks fan who's a coworker. Dude is 57 years old. I'm like, yo, man, I love Frank, bro. He be like, who? Man, I'll pay his plane ticket right now, man. He ain't built for no New York. You don't know what concrete feel like. You don't know what running around a fire hydrant feel like. I'm like, come on, OG, man. You can't.
Yeah, the only thing that he knows what it feels like is a growing injury.
He gotta stay away from them French women, man.
Well, I think he's hanging out uptown with your peoples, man. Uptown, hanging out in Spanish Harlem or whatever, man. Hanging out with the mommies out there. That's what I think.
Frank got to get it together, man. I've never seen a dude who has just injury after injury after injury.
Well, I mean, check out the eye test, right? Does Frank, right? We're talking about Frank now. So Frank, the eye test, everyone has the expectations, but did he ever have the eye test? Emmanuel Quickley, when he came in there, like we didn't think nothing of him because CBS Sports was saying that he was a D+, and then people were saying he should have been a second round pick. So most fans believed that, and it was like, oh, why did we get that guy? We should have got this guy. You know what I'm saying? But then when he played in that last preseason game, everybody went crazy. Yo, he needs to start right away in preseason because that was the eye test. As soon as you saw him, you knew he could play. Even fast forward to now, Derrick Rose. Everybody was like, "Yo, why are we getting Derrick Rose for? Who we trading? He's gonna take minutes away from Quickley." But then after this Miami game, the eye test is like, "Oh shit!" Now people are more like inclined to be like, "Yo, we need to get another play to help these guys out." Just like last week, they were talking about we need to do something different, man. So, this whole eye test thing. Did Frank ever get to that that level?
For me, I love Frank his first year because you gotta understand, like, I'm used to point guards coming in the Garden and running them up, like doing whatever they wanted. The Allen Iversons, the Gilbert Arenases, the Kobe's, Kyle Lowry's, the Steph Curry's. I remember Steph Curry. Then Steph scored 61 in the Garden on us, 50-plus points on us. Man, Baron Davis. Like, I watched many a point guards, just guards in general, just run them up. So to see Frank, a guard who actually appreciates defending, like, I was attached to that. So I didn't really care about scoring. Scoring is not really my – I don't really care about basketball players who score a lot of points. Like, I value defense and other things. So you got to – it depends on who you ask when it comes to questions about Frank. Now, Quickley, I love how you say the preseason game, because the preseason game when Alfred Payton didn't play and it was Quickley and Frank Ntilikina, we scored 140 points. But that's neither here nor there. Okay?
You know, I throw stuff out there because I kind of know what you're gonna say, so I'm just waiting for you to say it. And so I know you're just gonna drop that 140 in there.
So that's neither here nor there.
But it's the truth though. They did drop 140 something points with them two in the thing, and you know, we should speak on that too, because Alfred Payton seems to be like just a pet. But I mean, the way that Frank was playing in the beginning when he was getting minutes, and he didn't get minutes all year, just in the beginning of the year. So I mean, like I feel like Frank would be, because I mean, at least with Frank, he's not gonna have tunnel vision. That's one. Alfred has tunnel vision, you know. And then if one thing that Frank is gonna do, Frank is gonna be consistent. Whether if he's consistently trash or just, you know, for my taste, consistently just doing what he does, being steady, not really doing too much. That's what he's gonna do. And but he did start to show that he could hit that open jump shot. So I mean, like I feel like that might have been a good choice too, to pull Alfred out. But you know, just to chime, you know, I'm kind of just going a little bit crazy. Alfred, it just has a toughness to him. Frank doesn't have that toughness. I just think that's the vibe that Tom Thibodeau was getting from Frank compared to Alfred. You know.
No. Alfred sucks, man. I'm so sick of watching this guy.
He does. I can't say nothing. He does, man.
Man, I can't wait till he's not a Knick no more, man. I don't think I've ever watched a Knick who I just did not enjoy seeing him play basketball. Like probably Al Harrington.
Oh, Al Harrington was trash, man.
Jerome James.
Al Harrington. No, Al Harrington actually played pretty good, man. You didn't like the Al Harrington era?
He was Bobby Porter's times a million. He was chucking. Oh my, what?
Well, he did average 20. He averaged 20 for 2 seasons though.
Yeah, he was chucking. He was chuck. He get the ball. Nobody touched the ball. You thought Melo was bad. Yeah. Big Al, what? You ain't touching the rock. That man. But oh God.
That was a crazy era, man. You ever looked at those stats just to see what the hell was going on during that time?
I did. I actually looked it up. While I was on the train today. I actually was looking at articles from 1999 to 2017 in the timeline about the Knicks, and some of the stuff was just so bad. Like, I didn't know Isaiah Thomas was trading that many pieces, on top of the fact of his little court case that MSG settled for $11+ million.
Yeah.
And then Donnie Walsh comes in, and I didn't know Dolan forced Isaiah Thomas back on Donnie Walsh, and then forced we all know that he forced Donnie Walsh to make the Melo trade, but it was wild dysfunctional, yo. But it all started trading Patrick Ewing. You don't trade Pat. When you trade Pat, you sign. Who they signed to $60 million when they traded Pat? Oh God, I can't get the name. Oh God. God.
So many different things, man.
No, they made a specific trade. It was a specific trade that was really, really bad, and it wasn't even an Antonio McDyess trade. I think it was the Jerome James trade, because remember, they traded Patrick Ewing, and they just was signing dudes left and right. And then they finally make the Antonio McDyess trade, and then Antonio McDyess blows out his knee in preseason. And then it just spirals downhill.
Well, I mean, they went when they traded Ewing, they went and got Vin Baker. Vin Baker was a functional alcoholic. Like if there was Twitter back then, there would have been all kind of pictures of Vin Baker laid out in the train stations and stuff. Because that cat was wilding too back in those days, man. He was like a functioning alcoholic at the time. It's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff that we done been through, man. So I get it. You know, all the story just paints the picture of the reason why that you feel the way that you feel, you know, about everything, because we always seem to do the wrong freaking thing, and you just don't want them to keep repeating the same BS, man. Yeah.
So
yeah,
January 5th, 2004. You remember this date?
Jesus Christ, man.
You laughing. So I'm assuming you remember that date. I'm assuming you remember that date.
Man,
January 5th. The Knicks deal McDice, Charlie Ward, Limpy, Howard Isley, and a first-round pick for a package headlined by Stephon Marbury.
Jesus Christ. It's just, you know, that was the headlines back in the days, man. It was real tough being a Knicks fan, man.
The Knicks trade on October 4th, 2005, the Knicks trade for Eddie Curry, Antonio McDavis, and a pick that become Wilson Chandler. They gave up 2 picks in this deal. You know who those 2 picks was? LaMarcus Aldridge, Joakim Noah.
Jesus Christ, man. It just crazy. Just crazy. Right there. If we would have just stand pat, we would have had LaMarcus Aldridge and freaking Joakim Noah. Two guys that, you know, approaching their prime were all-stars. You know what I'm saying? You know, defensive player of the years and MVP candidates. Noah was a freaking MVP candidate one year, man.
Yeah,
bugged out.
And you see why I got PTSD about my draft picks?
I got you, man. Yo, let me put something up to trigger you, man. What is this? Who does this remind you of? Did that remind you of anybody? Who's the first Knicks player that you think of when that comes to mind?
Motherfucker, Alfred Payton. Oh, God.
I showed that to some of them. They got it right off the bat too, man. Motherfucker is legally blind, man.
Oh God, man, that guy, man. I thought he would be so much better, man. I remember when he first came into the league, I was like, yeah, this guy might be good. And no, he's been the leader of 6 straight lottery teams. I can't believe. Who's his agent? I need to know. Because he always get this man a job. Ain't he represented by CAA? Matter of fact,
he might be. Yeah, I think that all might be CAA stuff.
Oh God, everybody is just in the mob family. Oh man.
All right, so yeah.
Nah, what you was about to say? Because I was about to ask you a question. I was about to finally ask you a question about how do you feel ultimately about the Porzingis trade? Okay,
Porzingis trade. Right now, I feel like you know, even in hindsight, at the time, at the time, I'm on it like he wanted all this and whatever. It's like, man, fuck you, bro. You didn't do nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do nothing yet. You ain't win us no games. Like like he's acting and just talking and got his brother and all that with the comb over hair and the tight jeans and the women's sweaters and all kind of shit. Like walking up in the office talking about, yo, I want this, that, and the other, or we out of here. Then get the fuck out of here. Then get out of here. What have you done? What did Porzingis do the whole time that he was here? He never won nothing. He played with Melo and he didn't win. And then he was by himself and he didn't win. So he didn't get that authority yet. That he didn't get that. He didn't get it yet, but he wanted it before he got it. So that's the one thing. He already was counting his money. He already knew that he was going to get 30-something million from somebody. And quiet as kept, he probably already was talking to Cuban and Luka, behind the scenes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I in hindsight and even at the same, and when it happened, I was just glad that he was gone, man. I just wanted to play out. I was hoping Dennis Smith Jr. would do something, but I mean the trade is not over yet because I mean that draft pick that we got from them, that might end up being our special pick,
Yo, man, if there's one thing that I wanted to happen for the Knicks in past like 30 years, since I've been on this earth, and I started watching the Knicks when I was 10 years old. There's one thing I would love to happen is for us to get a top 5 pick from the Dallas Mavericks. I think the pain of 20 seasons will be forgiven if we make the playoffs and the Mavericks give us a top 5 pick. I think
that's happening. I think that's a done deal. I mean, we can go back to the standings. Right now it seems like Utah is gonna keep their spot. Of course, some of these other guys, the Lakers, the Clippers, and whatever, these guys are gonna keep their spot. So I'm gonna pull it up now.
You know why Utah definitely want to keep that number 1 slot? Look where the Lakers and the Clippers are seated. They're gonna have to play each other in the second round, and Utah wouldn't have to play one of them until the Western Conference Finals. So I think they like, nah, we gotta get the number 1 seed. So I think that and Shaq talking shit to Donovan Mitchell, Shaq did that on purpose too. And he did an OG move. When everybody was getting on Shaq, I'm like, nah, that's an OG move. Only an OG would do something like that. Will pull a young boy to the side and tell him something like, you ain't good enough, man. I like you, but you ain't doing enough, man. And I think Donovan took that very personal. And he should. And his teammates should. Because Rudy Gobert, kudos to you. You getting $200 million average 11 points. Y'all, I respect Shaq. He got those boys working, yo. Rudy Gobert, 11 points, $200 million. But that man is leading a great team right now along with Donovan Mitchell. So that's going to be nice. Now let's go to the bottom.
Yeah. Who's at the bottom?
The bottom, the Grizzlies, the Rockets, the Mavericks. The Pelicans is down there. The Kings. Surprisingly, the Sacramento Kings has been winning games. Surprisingly, that's a team that, is catching me off guard. Denver is at a spot that I believe that they shouldn't be at. The Spurs. I didn't expect for the Spurs to be 11-14 at this moment. So that's surprising to me. Portland is in the 5th seed. It is no way in hell Dallas is making the playoffs this year.
There's no way in hell.
From what I'm looking at right now, and mind you, the Grizzlies, John Morant has been hurt, and John Morant just came back. Yo, man, it can happen, man.
Yo, look at the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies too. Look at their record at 9-10. They're behind the ball because a lot of those guys had COVID. A lot of games were postponed and stuff. So I mean, once they catch up, that record could actually be higher than it is. If they were able to play some of these games. So I mean, the Mavericks. To me, the Mavericks have no shot to make the playoffs. So I mean, if all you got to do is be in the mix of the lottery. Because it's proven that whoever loses the most games don't always get the top pick. It's been these guys that are supposed to get the 4th or the 3rd or the 6th. Those are the guys that are getting the top pick. So, I mean, that's very dangerous for the league, for the Knicks to get a top pick in the trajectory that we're going right now.
Yo, that is dynasty type levels right there. If you make the play. Because
that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't want to talk about Frank no more, man. We on a trajectory, man. I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
That's dynasty levels right there. Because a top 5 pick, yo, just hypothetical. If we got Jalen Suggs on this roster right now, and we got $60 million in cap space, I'm calling for the Knicks to make the Eastern Conference Finals next season. That's like, it's something like or Kuminga. I was watching the G League game today too. Jalen Green looks very raw, but that Kuminga kid, that African kid, that kid looks good. That's a top 5, top 3 pick right there. So we just need one more guy. We need, just like you said, we need 3 more guys. We need a swingman. We definitely need a 3. We need a swingman because we need to compete with the Celtics. I think, for me personally, I think we need a backup big, somebody opposite of Mitch, like either a big body like Drummond or a floor spacer like Cousins. And I think we for sure need a point guard. We need a starting point guard. And then when we fill those 3 positions, I think we'll be ready to compete. Because all those teams, look at down the list. All those teams, all their all-stars is old. All of them. Except for the Nuggets, the Kings, the Suns.
Pelicans.
But the thing about the Pelicans is I don't trust Zion. Like I don't trust him, and he's a hell of a player.
You can't trust the other kid too. The small forward. He's been hurt a lot in his career also.
Yeah.
Brandon.
And I don't trust Ja. I don't trust Ja. Nope.
Man, I don't trust Lonzo over there neither. There's a lot of guys on that team just like all messed up. Yeah, John Morant too. John Morant on Memphis.
You don't trust Lonzo, but you'll pay him.
I'm not paying Lonzo. Lonzo's like one of the. I don't like Lonzo, man.
Oh, you wouldn't pay Lonzo?
No. Were you talking about Lonzo Ball or are you talking about Lonzo Mourning? We're gonna get a spaceship or something, time machine?
Yo,
get Lonzo Mourning.
If Lonzo was on the market, you wouldn't take a chance on him at $13 million a year?
Nah. I feel like we got bigger chips to fry with that $13 million.
You trying to big dog talk. You trying to go into 2021 all season.
Yo, I want to win a championship, man. I feel like the Knicks are real close to getting a championship, and like wasting $13 million on Lonzo when we got Quickley, and now we got Rose too. Rose is definitely going to be here for the ride. Of course, Alfred is going to be the odd man out no matter what we do. But I would rather upgrade Quickley into that spot than pay Lonzo Ball $13 million. And I don't think he's going to get $13 million. I think he might get a little bit more than that in this open market. Guys, these NBA teams are paying everybody.
That's true. So either the Quickley route or because the Knicks they're going to have to pay a point guard. Like they're going to have to bring somebody in.
Yeah, we're going to have to pay a few people.
I'll tell you this. I wouldn't mind Kyle Lowry on a 2-year deal. Nice, steady, win a championship in Canada, win a championship in the USA, first player ever to do it. I wouldn't mind Kyle Lowry coming in. And you want to know what's funny? You know why it would be nice for us to start competing and be competitive now? Because all of the league aging stars, they're going to be old soon. And when I say old, that means vet minimums. I'm gonna go to the Knicks. I'm gonna go join RJ Barrett now. I'm gonna try to win a ring over there for the cheap. Paul George when he's 36. I know Jimmy Butler is coming. He's gonna be a Knick. When Jimmy Butler contract is up in Miami, he's coming to New York. So I'm intrigued. I want to see what's going to happen. The culture is definitely changing though, and the perception.
You gotta believe, State, man. You gotta believe, man. It's coming. Man. I'm telling you. No matter how it happens, it's not. I feel like we got everything is in place. We're not gonna be. It's not gonna be Isaiah era no more, man. I feel like we're on a wave right now.
Yeah, man. I was a little salty about the Frank stuff and the Knox stuff like 2 weeks ago. I was salty. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be salty when
you be salty, man.
Yeah, I'd be salty. I ain't gonna lie. And I try not to record when I'm feeling salty because I don't like to have biased takes. So when I am salty and I'm recording, I try to always be like, okay, now it's time for me to be objective with this point.
Yo, man, I think salty is not the word. You got the whole spice rack going half the time, man.
Bruh.
Until you get your vegetables. Once you get your vegetables, then you're good.
They get replaced, man. You got $60 million in 2 draft picks. They're gonna get replaced. So that's why. And then talking to you, I'm hearing the voice in my head. Yo, stay, man. Knox and Frank, bro, they trash, bro. it's just, they'll get replaced. We're gonna get better though. I like the trajectory though. Now I want to see. Last question. Yeah. Last question. I think we can get out of here on this.
Yeah.
Let's say if we did have to make a trade, and we do have to give up 4 first-round picks.
4?
Yeah, 4. Because that's
Jesus
the minimum.
Christ.
That's the price. The price of the brick went up. Once Drew Holiday got traded for 4 first-round picks, James Harden got 8. It went up. So any trade we talking about is through minimum 3 first-round picks. I'm gonna try to be realistic as possible. Are there any players that you see in the NBA right now that they was on the market you would give up 3 to 4 first-round picks for?
Jesus Christ, 3 to 4 first-round picks?
Mm-hmm.
Man. I mean, I'm looking. I mean, that's the thing though. Like some of those guys that I'm looking at, I'm looking at the Western Conference, teams right now. The only teams that I see are like Donovan Mitchell. I would give that much for Donovan Mitchell. But even then, I'm gonna cringe at it. 4 is crazy. Maybe 2 or 3. This guy in the Wizards, Bradley Beal. He's definitely gonna have to get 3. Just based on the market. The market is so crazy. That's but I mean that's what we would have to do to get those type of players. But I mean, Bradley Beal to me is like the only one really dangling like that. That I mean, there's nobody else that I would really give that all those assets to. Was anybody out there that you're looking at? Do you think we could pull up? As I mean, like say like a Steph Curry. If he was to get Steph Curry, I would give all those picks. But I mean, we would have to be like on the cusp of about to win something if you're gonna do that.
It's only one player I would give up 4 first-round picks for, and that's Giannis. And that's the only player I think I'll give up 4 first-round picks for. Because if I give up, and this is why I'm scared about the Knicks doing a trade, because of what other teams have done. And I don't want the Knicks to give up that much in a trade. And I know it's gonna have to happen. Giannis is the only guy, bro, for me. Booker sounds cool, but I don't know. No.
Devin Booker, I don't think it's worth that many draft picks. Giannis is basically the only one that's worth 4. If you're gonna get 4, that's Giannis is basically the only one.
I give it up for Giannis and Zion, but Pelicans ain't that stupid. So Pelicans ain't that stupid.
Yo, mess around too, man. When his contract is up, he might try to finagle his way to the Knicks.
But for sure.
We're talking about down the line, though.
For sure. I can't wait when 7 years from now, when RJ is like a top 5 player in the NBA or a top 10 player in the NBA. For sure. I think somebody's going to pull up. I think he got a lot because you got to remember, like, these dudes grew up different than the older Knicks players. Like, they AAU camps. These dudes slept in hotels together, shared rooms. Live with each other at a certain point in time. So, it's going to take a while, but, it's going. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's
why I like talking to you, man. Because I mean, you got a lot of knowledge in your head, and you got a lot of emotion. You got the full the full spice rack. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy, man. That's why I like talking with you, man. But let's do some last words here with the current roster. Like what do you want to do? Like what's your not necessarily expectations, but sitting right here after seeing what Rose did and just seeing how we playing with the defense and stuff like that. What do you think we should be focusing on as like a team, fan base, whatever?
For me, just don't do nothing stupid, man. Just don't press the red button. That's it.
Gotcha.
Be 11-15. We'll probably be by the end of the season, probably like 31-41. 32-40, most likely. So just stay the course, man. Don't do nothing crazy. Don't trade for Zach LaVine. Don't destroy my roster trying to skip steps. Skip steps. That's a funny word. Steve Mills used to say that all the time. Don't skip steps and.
Wait, you used to say it like this. I like we don't want to skip steps.
That's how I used to say it.
I don't want to skip any steps.
Y'all still can't believe they went on. I still can't believe they went and had a press conference after going 2-8 and lied to us and say we thought he was going to be better with the roster that you had put on the court. Come on, man. But just that, man. Just keep it going, man. Kenny Payne. Shout outs to the guys behind the scenes. Tim's is doing a wonderful job. But his coaching staff is very elite. And I'm watching the bench. I think it was you that said, Kenny Payne and Mike Woodson, they be pulling certain dudes to the side and they be talking to them. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching the bench lately, and I'm watching that. I'm watching Kenny Payne talk to Kevin Knox. Knox not even playing, and he's talking to him. So I guess he's asking him stuff like, what are you saying? What would you do on that play? Certain stuff like that. Like, keep them engaged, keep everybody feeling like it's a family type of atmosphere. And I like what's going on, man. I like what's going on, man. As long as we win in tough games or we're not getting blown out like last year, and Fizdale to score 103, 64 to 103, and Fizdale, he's smiling. Oh, that was so embarrassing, yo. I called out of work that next day after that game. I was that embarrassed. I was embarrassed, man. That was tough. Yeah. That's what I like to see, man.
Speaking about calling out sick from work, I got some feedback going on. Hey, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have some feedback going on. But anyway, what I would want to say, like, is that talking about calling out sick and stuff like that. I would call out sick if we get a Woj bomb. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that Woj bomb is coming, and it's gonna be something that nobody expected. And ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, all those guys are gonna be like, the Knicks might make the playoffs. They might win a championship. They might win a championship. You're talking like this? Oh my God! I think they're gonna win a championship. And freaking is gonna be on the side like, oh my God, I can't believe it. He's gonna be. That's my wet dream, man. I want the Knicks to do something. I want them to do something that propels us into that echelon. And I want everyone, see, I mean, like there are kids watching. I want to say something, but I'm gonna just take it down a notch, man. So we can leave it. We can leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for the Woj bomb, man. Not nothing crazy. I'm not looking to trade all of our picks or nothing like that. But I think we're gonna get that guy that's gonna help this team this year, and we're gonna make teams and players in this NBA sweat, and then they're gonna be calling on us in the offseason. That's all I gotta say about that, man.
If we do have a Woj bomb, that Woj bomb is gonna be either Bradley Beal or it's gonna be Zach LaVine. It's gonna be one of those two.
We'll see, man. I think it's coming.
No team is going to want to play the Knicks that first round. That first round going to be funny if we make the playoffs. No team is going to want to play the Knicks, man. No team.
Man. The way we playing defense, adding a couple players that's going to buy into that concept, then every team in the NBA should be afraid, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So it's been a good podcast. Me and you could talk forever, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could talk forever, man. I could talk Knicks forever, man. I'm about to literally jump on this podcast because I know you got another podcast scheduled. I'm about to literally jump on another podcast and talk some more Knicks. So if the grind don't stop, whenever I'm off work, my whole day usually, if it's not to my girl, it's to the Knicks. So yeah, that's all I got for today.
Yo, man, I'm trying to learn sign language so I can talk Knicks in sign language too. You know what I'm saying? I want all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, most of everybody knows who you are anyway, man. But just let everybody know where they can find you and all that.
Shout outs to Knick Nation, man. Y'all can find me at State of the New York Knicks on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram, basically. Hold on.
I mean, you're not gonna say Twitter. You're not gonna say Twitter.
I'm gonna say Twitter too, but my Instagram is SNYK Podcast, and my Twitter. Sadly, my original Twitter had got deleted, but my new Twitter is @StateNYK Pod. So it's @StateNYK Pod, and yeah, man, you can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. Amazon, Alexa, Google Play, it's everywhere, man. My guy Ebru, I love talking to you, man. We always have a good show. Always good to talk to you about the Knicks, man. I'm getting mad at you a little bit because you're saying my opinion on some of my young boys, and you're pissing me off. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
But I'm out of here, man. My guy, Knick Nation. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Peace, guys.